Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Spoon Veggie and happy December. In many ways, this time of year is a happy time, but parcelled together with those feelings, there can be stress and worry and sadness too. So I thought for a little change from my mainly weekly videos, I'd create 12 shorter videos, each on a different Christmassy topic, and which I hope will help you feel calm and prepared for any cooking or entertaining you'll be doing this month, as well as offering moments of peaceful distraction. In this first video, I'm taking a quick look at the pantry and checking I have supplies of the ingredients I'll need for the cooking I have planned. For festive baking, I'll need plenty of plain flour. I only keep plain flour in stock, not self-raising, as you can simply add 1 teaspoon of baking powder for every 100 grams of plain flour to do the same job. Here is that useful baking powder and also bicarbonate of soda. I have plenty of sugar, both caster and brown sugars. I also keep golden syrup in stock at this time of year for festive baking. An annual tradition, since I can remember, was making gingerbread loaf with my mum. I make it every year, although I don't have the original recipe. There is a version in this lease book that is very similar. For this recipe, I need treacle, also known as molasses, with a unique flavour, like bitter caramel if that makes sense. It's so cosy to make gingerbread, and I'll include a little video on that in this series. I like to stay pretty well stocked on spices year round, but some are especially essential for this time of year. Ginger and cinnamon for gingerbread loaf and mulled wine. I also like to use cinnamon in stick form to make a rich gravy full of festive flavours. If you plan to make mulled wine, and I highly recommend that you do, you'll find some of the same spices, cinnamon and cloves, useful for that. I use peppery allspice berries, also known as pimento, in savoury dishes like peeler rice and gravy. I have ground allspice in the pantry too for baking. Star anise adds a lovely aniseed flavour to savoury dishes, and I'll be adding that to my festive gravy too. Nutmeg, that warmly flavoured seed, adds an earthy taste to creamy dauphinoise potatoes, and I'll be adding it to the spices for my Christmas red cabbage. A little more difficult to come by in its ground form, I love to use cardamom in pies and crumbles for baking and to add a seasonal flavour to side dishes. And I couldn't mention spices without including wonderful fragrant vanilla extract for baking, making granola, custard and many other desserts. I also keep plenty of bay leaves stocked at all times. More prosaic, but essential for roasting potatoes and other cooking, I keep a flavourless oil like sunflower oil. This is where I store mine for easy access, and it's time to top it up. A funnel helps make this an easier task. I associate wine vinegars with many different recipes, but I particularly like to pair red wine vinegar with slow-cooked red cabbage. I think you can tell I'm throwing all my favourite flavours at this lovely cabbage side dish, and in case you haven't guessed, it's the topic of an upcoming video. Vegetable stock, not the most glamorous of ingredients, but an essential ingredient for soups and gravies. I like to keep these dried porcini mushrooms in the cupboard. Useful in explicitly mushroomy meals, like mushroom soup, these can also be used to add background flavour, like I do in my gravy, and are not detectable to mushroom haters. Important if, like me, you live with and cook for one. A kitchen essential as far as I'm concerned is this Veggie Worcester sauce. It adds a depth of flavour that can be harder to find in vegetarian foods. Add it to sauces, soups, bakes and tomato dishes. An interesting ingredient which you can make use of in Middle Eastern cooking is this pomegranate molasses. Very different from treacle, but also with a delicious bittersweet taste. I like to drizzle it on roasted aubergine, and it's a festive addition to my gravy recipe too. Honey is great when you're making bread, for adding a sweet note to mulled wine, as well as a million other uses. I always keep plenty of honey in the cupboard. For cooking a range of savoury dishes, I'll need onions. I'm more drawn to red onions at this time of year, shallots and garlic, so I'm stocked up on all of those. It seems to me that Christmas, and also the Jewish festival of Hanukkah, are a celebration of potatoes and oil, and I'll certainly be making plenty of roast potatoes and also latkes or potato fritters in the coming weeks. It's handy to parboil potatoes and freeze them for when a craving strikes or you're in a busy cooking time. Look out for the next 12 days video coming soon on prepping veg ahead of time. And on that note, I'd like to say, buy yourself something nice this week if you can, and above all, remember to take care of yourself too when taking care of others. Thanks for watching, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.